I think the game still came out the way one expected, but I expected a little bit more aggression from Mbabane today, because I thought they would have nothing to lose, so they would give everything in trying to come at us. And I was hoping that maybe they'll open a little bit more so that we could get the space behind their defense. But I must say that they were still very cautious, maybe not wanting to concede more goals, which made the first half to be a little bit tight. Though I also believe we did not take the chances that we got, and there were a lot of unnecessary back passes, even when we have gained the space behind the defensive line. I think we still played a game that was more possession-based more than attacking football. But I do believe second half we improved a little bit. Both our fullbacks big contributions offensively. Divine Lunga had 2 goal involvements, the first and the second goal. But I do believe we could have done even better than what we did. I still believe we could have scored more than the 4 that we scored. But still, it was a good day at the office. I think the players that were given an opportunity today, most of them raised their hands to suggest that maybe they should be considered again for other matches, which was very good, because that's what we wanted. I think that is all.
Okay. Thank you, Coach. Questions from the floor, please do introduce yourself.
Coach Mahlatsi from Times Live. Just the thinking around the wholesale changes, Coach, going into this match from the SuperSport game.
First, psychologically, I thought the players that had played the first match might not want to work as hard going into this match. So it was important that we bring new faces that have to prove what they can provide in a game of this magnitude. Maybe try to match what the other team had done. I've seen this many a times, where if you have had a very good game in the first round with one group and you continue with the same group, maybe there's a little bit of complacency, there's a little bit of sluggishness, and it was very important. But also to try and give opportunities to all these players, because if we are saying we signed all of them because we want to make sure that they help the team in all these competitions throughout the season, so it was important that we try and give them an opportunity in games like this, so that they also feel part of the group, so that everybody has that sense of ownership in the outcomes of the team, getting it through into the group stages. So it was important just to make sure also we open ourselves up and see what we have out there, because that's very important.
And Coach Mahlatsi from the SABC. Coach, were you impressed by those players that you mentioned, that you gave them a chance today, and do they give you what you wanted? What you wanted?
To be honest, I think more than 99% of the players that got a chance to play today, they really played at the level that I expected and at the level that I loved. I think the 2 wingers, Cody and Lodge, for Cody to have an assist and have a goal, that's very big. For Maseko to come in late in the match and also have an assist, for me that's very big. Mkhulisi, I wanted very strongly to see him in a more offensive position, and for him to even score a goal, that was very impressive for me. I think he was one player that had a big second half. You look at Mzugo Mtunyelwa, right back, I was very impressed, more especially when he tried to go higher in the pitch. The first goal was as a result of his efforts, when he tried to find Cody, who played across, and the ball came back and Cody managed to finish. The 2 centre backs, Rush has not been playing for the longest of time, but the quality was very good. Him and Mali, I think they were outstanding. Dennis also showed his quality. Divine, for him to contribute in 2 goals, because he had 2 goal involvements, and that for me was very big. Then the other youngsters that I brought later in the midfield, Obas also had a very, very decent game. I'm not sure whether I'm not mentioning anyone, but I think all the players that got an opportunity today really punched at the level that I expected. There are just few individual issues that one has to deal with, more especially technical issues, where I felt sometimes you could have received with your back foot and attacked the next line, but they still resorted to go for back passes when I felt the positions that they took were very good to propel our attack. And those back passes, I'm one big enemy of such passes when it's unnecessary.
And perhaps continue from the coach side too. Okay, let's continue from there. Coach Keegan Jonas making his full debut tonight.
I was very excited to see. I was very excited with Keegan. To be honest, I wanted to give him 15 minutes as a right back initially. But as the game progressed, I felt maybe Zugo needed a 90 for his physical condition. And I felt because Keegan can play as right back, as centre back, as central midfield, maybe let's see what he can give us as a 6. And I was very impressed with what I saw because I like his aggression, I like his technical ability, I like his aerial prowess, but I like his mentality. Never pulling back on any tackles, going all out to make sure that he helps the team. That's going to be very important for the team. And I must be honest, I'm very excited to see him back.
Coach from Bukala Radio. I think you've mentioned the whole team except for Peter Shalui, who I think he's facing a bit of a cold streak, not able to score goals. We saw him try a lot like today. Can you perhaps share on maybe what's been done to help him perhaps so that he can get more in shape, sharper?
To answer you on Peter, I was very impressed with the effort he put in the game, and that is the reason why we will always support Peter no matter what, because he never lacks giving the team everything he has. And when he's not scoring, I think it's our time as the technical team, as the whole club, to support him in his endeavors to come back, because he's still going to be very important to us. The reason why we also decided to play him today was to try and give him the confidence back so that he could bury one. And we know once he has scored one goal, this thing will open up again and his confidence will be back. But I must say there were a lot of positive things in his game. He was just unfortunate not to be able to score one.
Coach, you have scored 10 goals in your last 3 matches. Would you say you're up and running now? Is all systems go for the season?
Like I said before, the previous match we played against Mbabane, I felt we should have scored more than 4. Today I think we should have scored more than 4 again. And against SuperSport I think we were very wasteful. Our first half did not yield anything, and yet if you look at the chances that we created in that match, we could have scored maybe 3 or 4 first half. We had a very big chance from the beginning of the match that could have opened the game up. Goz made a terrific save on Ribeiro's shot, and we created some moments that ended up not even resulting in a shotted goal from very good build attacks where Lucas was in the 10 position. But I'm happy that the team is beginning to score, because my main quest was to try and see this team scoring a lot of goals, and I believe we are in that direction, and they understand that I'm not a fan of just football without goals or without attacks or without termination of attacks. And I think we are getting into that mode of knowing that if we initiate an attack, we consolidate it to terminate it. And we start again, so that we create traction in terms of the number of chances we created, in terms of the number of shots it goes, because it would not help us to have possession maybe for 15-20 minutes, only if we are going to go once and take a shot. So 20 minutes can only give you one shot at goal. It will not help. But if we try to have many segments of attacks that are terminated, not necessarily to rush, but to try and build a team that is geared at creating as many opportunities as possible, and I think we are on the right track in that direction.
Coach, I know this is a competition, but it must be pleasing to know that Pirates is also through to the group stages. How important is this for South African football to have as many teams as possible involved in CAF competition? Unfortunately, for Sekhukhune, they couldn't make it.
I must congratulate Pirates first. I think it's very good for a big team like Pirates to be in the group stages, and for South Africa to have two teams in the Champions League group stages. That's big, and that's when you start to maximize the chances of a South African team winning the Champions League. And it would be nice if both teams can also go through to the next round, which is the quarterfinals, because once we are there, anything is possible. And it would be nice if we don't win it, it's won by Pirates, or if Pirates does not win it, we win it. Just like Zamalek were doing with Ali for the longest of time in the Champions League. So it would really be nice to get ourselves to that level where it's not only the dominance of the North Africans, but also in the SADC we are well represented, and I'm very excited for Pirates to go through. I'm also very excited that our boys made it through to the group stages.
Do you have any other questions apart from the gentleman in the front? Any questions? Fine. Okay. So last question from yourself, Morake, then Shelet, then
Coach, you ended the match with three young players, Letlaku, Mabena and Koza. It must be pleasing to see that you have young players who are coming. I know people may say it's only Mbabane Swallows, but this is top Champions League football, and for them to be given an opportunity at this level, it must be pleasing.
For me, I think it's what I would have loved to see from the beginning, because I would have loved to see these young boys getting an opportunity in both matches so that they get this Champions League experience. The only thing that I'm a little bit unhappy about is that they got to play both these matches in the Champions League at home. I do want them to gain experience of being outside and seeing what's happening out there and fighting against conditions that are a little bit abnormal sometimes, the pitch conditions and all that. But it's very nice to see young talent coming up at Sundowns. And Tiwane has already established himself as a first team player. Koza is in that direction, Lekaku is in that direction, Mabena is in that direction, Maseko is in that direction, and I believe there are still many more that one is eyeing to make sure that we give these boys opportunities earlier in their careers so that we even open up opportunities for them to go abroad.
And Coach, you won your first league match just the other day, and now with the CAF competition out of the way, focus now fully on the league, and with the momentum that you've gained over the last 3 games that you've won, this must be pleasing to you.
Yeah, man, it's always nice to win and to score as many goals because it brings confidence into the group. But the most important thing for me is that it breeds a lot of competition within the group, because now that this team that played today scored 4, now it's a wait and see what happens on Tuesday in our game against Marumo, and we also have another big one after that, which is Kaizer Chiefs. So those matches now present an opportunity for the team to see how far can we go in the next few matches before the FIFA break. But it is pleasing to have won these 3 matches because we are building momentum.
Okay, coach. I hear you talk of building momentum and things are going well with the 3 wins. I think what I would like to ask you is, has the players and the whole group adapted to how you want things done, and are all the players, have they bought into your philosophy and style of what you want to achieve?
To be honest on that one, I would not be sure whether everybody has bought into it, but whoever has bought into it is going with it, and we are happy with those that can see the light. But the good thing about them is that they've realized that it has got a lot of goals for them, and I think when players start to confess on the sides to say, I think this season we are going to score a lot of goals, you get excited, because they must have a buy-in first, and then we must try to drive towards that direction. And now the atmosphere, the attitude, the mentality towards what we are trying to achieve is very clear, that every player understands what we are trying to do. But in terms of the system, we are not yet at the level where I want us to be. We are still playing in moments. We are not consistent in our football actions, and our positional play sometimes is still questionable. But we are improving with every match that we are playing, and we are hopeful that the competition that we are trying to bring within the group is also going to fast track the desire to play the way we want to play, because at the end it's going to go down to who does exactly what we are looking for, so that he's always in the starting 11 whenever we need him most.